the Leesa Mattress, the Nectar Mattress, the Otty Mattress. Now, I've got these three mattresses in a comparison because they all offer something different at every piece of criteria. And by that I mean they are different in firmness. They're also different in Avena foam on top, which is of course polyurethane foam, memory foam, proper traditional full-on memory foam on the top for Nectar, Otty 2000 full size. I say full size, of course they're all different sizes, but proper size 14 centimeter pocket springs. So they all offer something different. They also happen to be three of the mattresses of which I get very little negative feedback. Of course, I've got other mattresses that also don't have much negative feedback, but I do have some mattresses, and I've had some mattresses in the past that get a lot of negative feedback. So, the Leesa Mattress, been around since 2016. Online companies come and go. You need a company, I would have thought, for peace of mind, that's been around a while. And even before they were in the UK, they were in the USA. But in the UK since 2016, an ethical company who give 1 in 10 of each mattress they sell to a good cause. Like all these other mattresses, they do a 10-year warranty. So actually, Nectar do have a lifetime warranty. I need to point that out. They call it their forever warranty. However, it's a little bit different because while in the first 10 years, they will give a new replacement for a warranted mattress that's been brought back because of a warranty, but after the first 10 years, it's actually a repair and recover warranty. So it's a little bit different after the first 10 years. However, you should still be getting back a good working mattress. I also need to point out, they do specify a 4 centimeter, 1.5 inch dip or indentation before you can start saying there's a problem with the mattress. Most of these companies specify a 2.5 centimeter or a 1 inch indentation or sag. It's a 100-night trial. Well, I'm going to say already a 365-night trial on Nectar, but 100 nights trial on Leesa and Otty. They use Avena foam. Now I'm going to say there are a lot of foam mattresses that have a polyurethane top layer, and that's fine as long as it's a reasonable density because it's made to mimic latex. It's latex-like in its springiness and its durability. Not quite latex, but the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people use polyurethane foam but don't want to say polyurethane foam, so they make up some Mickey Mouse name that has no real meaning other than it's an in-house generic term replacement for polyurethane foam. But then you get other companies like Leesa who actually use a different name for polyurethane called Avena foam, but that is actually a patented form of polyurethane. It is a specific type of polyurethane foam. It has a higher durability than a normal polyurethane foam, so it is something to bear in mind. You can also try Leesa in London at some selected West Elm stores. And then Nectar with that amazing 365-night trial, which is a big deal because a lot of the feedback I get is normally within 3 to 6 months of a mattress. It's changed to a point they didn't really expect. So going from 100 nights to 365 nights is a big deal. You more or less know what you're going to get over the 365 nights. They only came to the UK in June 2018, so a bit newer than the other two mattresses here, but again have been going in the USA and have been quite popular in the USA. It's also CertiPure certified. CertiPure certified is good because it means there's controls over and above the normal controls for the type of chemicals they can put in these polyurethane foams, and not just what they can and cannot use, but the levels of what they can use. Just to point out again, polyurethane foam is a petrochemical. Memory foam is polyurethane foam with specific additives to turn it into a different kind of consistency to a normal polyurethane foam, and we call it memory foam, although it's still chemicals in the same way as normal polyurethane foam is. So CertiPure is nice to have. In terms of ethical credentials, as I said, Leesa give 1 in 10 to a good cause. Nectar are a climate neutral company. You'll get 2 free pillows with your mattress. You don't have to wait for some special offer like some other mattresses where today's special offer is 2 free pillows. You will get 2 free pillows with Nectar. They will also pick up your old mattress if you want them to, and if you don't want them to, they won't. So, the Otty mattress, been around since July 2016. Otty does use memory foam on the top, but the big deal about Otty is full-size pocket springs, 14 centimeters. They can be bigger, they can be smaller. They're generically called full-size because they're quite big. So 14 centimeters would be regarded as full-size. It doesn't mean to say they don't come larger. 2,000, and that's the number you would get in a king size. If you get a smaller mattress like a single here, you'd get proportionately less pocket springs. They are always headlined by the number of pocket springs you will get in a king size mattress. They also CertiPure certified, which was a surprise to me given the budget level, but it is CertiPure certified. They also have what they call their airflow system, so they do certain things to try and aid cooling by having a gel memory foam, which may or may not work depending on who you listen to, and having holes around and inside and around mattress I will show you later to help airflow, which is important with a memory foam mattress. A lot of companies also will only deliver to your front door. If you're 100 blocks up in a tower flat or whatever, you'll have to go down and get the mattress from the door. Technically, however, most people that I hear do get their mattress delivered. However, technically, unless they say we deliver to your front door, they won't deliver to your front door, but to the front door of the property. For another £10, Otty will have a two-man team to your room of choice. So, and for another tenner, which is pretty reasonable, you're guaranteed 2 men, and they'll come into your property to your actual room. And given that Otty is actually a bit weightier than the other 2 mattresses, that's a big deal. So I've given you an overview of the mattresses. I talked a little bit about, what makes them different. Just to quickly tell you what the actual configurations are. So with Leesa, it's top layer, 5 centimeters Avena foam, 50 kilos per cubic meter. It's pretty standard, that's pretty decent. That is high density. 5 centimeters memory foam below that. I don't call these polyurethane configurations where they put the memory foam below the top layer. I don't call them memory foam mattresses because if it's not on top, it's doing something entirely different than we think of from memory foam. So it's giving a duller feel. It's kind of not as responsive, but it's not traditional memory foam in the sense it's taking your heat and molding, which is what you immediately think of memory foam. So I'm not calling it a memory foam mattress because the memory foam is below the top layer. So that's 50 kilos per cubic meter for the memory foam below it. That's a good spec, especially for when it's not the top layer. 15 centimeters base layer polyurethane foam, 33 kilos per cubic meter. You've got 10 centimeters of comfort layer. And I have to say, that's important. A lot of the mattresses do not give you enough comfort layer, and they will go to add some of that height in the base layer. Of course, it's cheaper for them to do that. 10 centimeters is a good spec for the comfort layers, the top 2 layers. Nectar is a memory foam mattress. There aren't many of them about, of the online ilk, and at this sort of budget level. I'm not saying these are budget mattresses as such, but they are middle ground in what you could pay. Of course, you can pay many thousands for a mattress. They're not cheap, as you can get off Amazon and the rest, but they are middle ground, budget kind of oriented mattresses. And that's the whole point, isn't it? They went online saying we can offer you them cheaper than you would normally be paying. 4 centimeters memory foam on top, not just memory foam, it's Revo foam, which is another painted type of memory foam. So you know that there is something a little bit different about it. You're getting a proper memory foam. A lot of these memory foams are blends of normal polyurethane and memory foam, and it's not quite the feel that you might expect from memory foam. 4 centimeters memory foam on top, Revo foam, proper memory foam. Below that, another 5 centimeters of memory foam, a total of 9 centimeters of memory foam. Now that is a proper memory foam mattress. My guess at the top 2 layers, they don't publish them, 50 kilos per cubic meter, top 2 layers. That's pretty reasonable. Obviously, memory foam does come in higher specs, but that's pretty reasonable, this price level. And for what you're getting, 365 night trial, plenty of time to make sure it's decent quality. Then, of course, the obligatory base layer, 16 centimeters, 33 kilos per cubic meter on the base layer. Otty, of course, it's really about the pocket springs, but you do get a top layer of memory foam. But here it's 3 centimeters. I believe it's 40 kilos per cubic meter. The specs do change on these mattresses. As far as I know, and of the one I've got, it's 40 kilos per cubic meter with 3 centimeters of polyurethane foam below that. But then you get the 14 centimeters of full-size pocket springs. So, it's really about the pocket springs. It's not about the top layers as such. Pocket springs, decent pocket springs will be more durable. So you'd hope that would take most of the impact on the mattress. So slightly low densities for the top 2 layers, you know, not quite as much comfort layer. Because of the pocket springs, you're hoping, yeah, okay, that's not such a big deal as it may be on another mattress. The base layer is not the same kind of a base layer as you're going to get in these other type of mattresses, because the pocket springs are taking the most of your weight. It's there really as protection and to give a base to the pocket springs themselves, and that is 5 centimeters polyurethane foam on the bottom of the Otty. So if we really want to get a handle on the difference in feels between these 3 mattresses, I'm going to tell you how I found them. Now, first of all, in my testing, so you're going to want to know, I've already mentioned there are different firmness levels. What are the firmness levels? I do lots of different tests. This is one particular test that I have done. This is a 16 kilo kettlebell. I'm measuring the dip. Leesa, 13.7 centimeters above the surface. Nectar, 13.3 centimeters above the surface, meaning Nectar is softer than Leesa. And Otty, 15.1 centimeters above the surface. It means it's a lot firmer than Leesa and Nectar. But the thing to remember about Nectar is it's proper memory foam, and that means the longer you lay on it, the more it will sink. So the difference on this particular test may seem not so much between Leesa and Nectar, but the longer you lay on Nectar, the deeper you will sink, the softer Nectar will appear in comparison, and I take that into consideration when I do my scoring. So Otty, a firm mattress, Nectar, a soft mattress, and Leesa, overall something in between when you take into account all weights and length of time on the mattress. You can't lay on the mattress for 5 minutes and compare a whole bunch of different mattresses, because they will sink at different rates. It's fine if you never stay in one position for 5 minutes, but think how long you stay in one position on your bed. That's going to make a difference, because if you're on a memory foam mattress, a proper full-on memory foam mattress like Nectar, get it right, it's going to keep on sinking and sinking a lot into hours, really, while you are in one position, because that's what you want from memory foam, to gradually take your weight. You're not getting the pushback, and that's, you know, the big deal about memory foam. You're going to get pushback from a spring mattress. You may or may not like that. You will not get pushback from a memory foam, a proper memory foam mattress. It'll be ache and pain and body friendly, but it'll keep on molding, especially as it takes more and more of your body heat. So while there's not much difference when you first lay on Nectar and Leesa, the longer into half hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then it feels softer and softer on Nectar, because you will have sunk that much further than it will on Leesa and Otty. So just to recap, on the soft side, Nectar, if you stay on it for a reasonable amount of time. Middle ground in the end, you know, when you take time into consideration. For Leesa, a proper medium firm mattress, yeah, medium to soft mattress. Otty is a firm but not overly firm mattress, so on the firmer side, but you still get comfort layers. So that's an overview of the firmness levels. Another big property is point elasticity. If I push down in one place on the mattress, I only want that bit to sink, because I need it to curve the rest of the areas of my body. That's what the comfort layer is doing. It's sinking where you sink, but it's contouring where you contour. That adds up to support and comfort. So better point elasticity means less foam affected outside the point of area. One of my tests for point elasticity. So I'm measuring at the point at which the foam gets back to level. Leesa, 15 centimeters of foam affected. Nectar, 12.7 centimeters. Otty, 9.2. That means Otty has excellent point elasticity, followed by Nectar, followed by Leesa. They all offer good support and point elasticity, but between these 3 mattresses, Otty comes out best, as you'd expect, on a firmer mattress. But Leesa behind Nectar, Nectar doing very well for a softer mattress. Just to point out again, they're all decent for point elasticity, as most foam mattresses are. However, Otty is particularly good. Nectar is particularly good given that it's a soft mattress. Obviously, softer is always going to give more, firmer is always going to give less, so it gives it advantages in terms of point elasticity. And Leesa again sits, you know, somewhere in the middle. In terms of all properties overall, I always say a bit of a Goldilocks mattress, the Leesa. It's the safest bet if you've no idea what to try. I always say, well, try the Leesa. It may not suit you, but it's middle ground. You'll know where to go after Leesa. Motion transfer, something that's really important to a lot of people. One of the reasons they may be going for a foam mattress, The partner moves, they feel it. They don't want to feel that kind of motion. So, you know, it's how little of that motion is transferred when there's pressure in a certain area. So a quick test of the motion transfer. In terms of motion transfer, they're all pretty good. Nectar is clearly better than Leesa and Otty. Very little to almost no motion transfer on Nectar. Outside of the median area where the weight is hitting, Otty and Leesa neck and neck in terms of motion transfer. Otty doing surprisingly well for a springy, pocket sprung mattress. Some motion transfer out to the second bottle on Leesa and Otty. Almost none on the second bottle on Nectar. Just to point out again, I do a series of tests when I give my scoring on the website. I'm just showing you here a quick test just to show you that whatever I'm telling you is actually based on something. So in terms of motion transfer, Nectar is particularly good, but that's always going to be a plus side of memory foam. And not bad, Leesa and Otty, but surprisingly quite similar, given that that's quite a springy mattress. Bounce. How bouncy are they? Now, you may just want a bouncy mattress, or you may not want a bouncy mattress. It's normally the flip side of motion transfer. Normally, if it's good for motion transfer, it's not going to have a lot of bounce. Bounce is also pretty relevant because a lot of people want to know, what is a good mattress for sex? It's surprisingly a very common question. I have to base that criteria on bounce. You may not. So in terms of, is it a bouncy mattress? Is it something that you may consider a good mattress for sex? This is one of my tests. In terms of bounce, Otty is much more bouncy than Leesa or Nectar. Leesa is a little bit more bouncy than Nectar. And the difference is greater at the lighter weights. When you start going into the heavier weights, like my 16 kilo test, there is almost nothing in it between Leesa and Nectar. But in the lighter weights at 6 kilo, Leesa is clearly a bit bouncier than Nectar. Nectar has almost no bounce. Otty with its springs is much springier than Leesa with its polyfoam top layer, and Nectar with its memory foam top layer. So no real surprises. You're going to expect a pocket sprung, full-size pocket sprung mattress to be bouncy, springy. It is. You're going to expect a memory foam mattress which is good for motion transfer. In other words, it doesn't transfer much motion. You're going to expect it to have very little bounce. It has very little bounce. And Leesa, slightly better bounce than Nectar. So polyurethane foam on top, but it's Avena foam, and it's a little bit different from a normal polyurethane foam. Bouncier than memory foam, but not overly bouncy. Not as much as the Otty. In terms of edge support, they are all pretty typical of a foam or foam type mattresses. If you stand on the edge with all your weight on the very edge, it does kind of collapse under your feet. Otty doing a little bit better than Nectar, which is doing a little bit better than Leesa, but in line with the typical foam mattress. In reality, if I put a 16 kilo weight on the edge, it's hardly dipping at all. So they are all quite good for edge support. But if you're sitting on the very edge, yes, it's going to collapse maybe 50% of the height under your weight, depending on your weight, of course. So we've got an overview of the mattresses. You know, we know what we're going to expect in firmness, bounce, and all the other criteria. Who are they going to suit? Now, I have to say, it's really hard to say this is a mattress for people with shoulder problems. This is a mattress if you sleep on your stomach, because it's all about your weight. If we say normally a soft mattress is good for side sleepers, it's because we're talking about people of average weight, so my weight. And obviously, if you sleep on your side, you want give on the shoulder. However, if you're twice my size, if you're 26 stone, you could certainly sleep on a firmer mattress and it'll still give at your shoulder simply because of your weight. And if you was on a softer mattress, it may be simply way too soft. You're going to sink right into it and it may not be what you want. So in general terms, I will tell you what mattresses suit what people. You've got to take into consideration your weight and also your own preference, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. You may be someone who technically should have a firmer or softer mattress, but you may not like that feel. So it's got to be tailored to you. But I should give you enough information that you can decide between these mattresses for you specifically. So someone of average weight, clearly, if they're a side sleeper, they want to go for the Nectar or the Leesa. A mattress with pocket springs and a springy mattress like that, which has plenty of pushback, like latex would as well, not going to be particularly shoulder friendly. It's going to push back on your shoulder. It's not going to give quite enough. If you are of average to lightweight, if you're heavier, you'll probably get away with a firmer mattress. If you sleep on your back, any of these mattresses will be fine. Back sleepers have a greater range of tolerance in terms of the firmness levels as they can have. And obviously, it's going to depend also on your own specific requirements and your weight. I mean, if you are particularly heavy, you're still going to want a firmer mattress. It's still going to have to offer enough support and pushback that's going to hold your body up. But on average, for an average person, they're all similar for back sleepers. They will all suit you. If you're lighter, then you've got to be thinking about a softer mattress. If you're heavier, you're going to be going on the firmer mattresses. If you're a front sleeper, don't do it. As I always say, it's awful, it's terrible. You're going to end up with problems, whether it's today or in 10, 15 years time. But if you insist on sleeping on your front, you need the firmest type of surface. You want a firmer feel, again, depending on your weight. So you say in general, Nectar is not going to suit a tummy sleeper because it's on the softer side. It's going to sink a bit too much at the tummy level. It's going to be putting pressure on that back. Leesa, again, is a Goldilocks mattress. It's in between. I think that suits people of average weight to lightweight, fine for stomach sleeping. And again, a firmer mattress, generally speaking, is going to be what you want as a tummy sleeper. But if you're very, very light, you're probably going to find that too firm again, and you're going to go for one of these two mattresses. You have got to decide. So comfort levels, as I say, is totally subjective. Please don't read too much into me when I give you my own personal feelings on the mattress. Remember to take in all the other criteria to try and suss out whether it's going to suit you. Comfort is completely subjective, and even if it's comfortable, doesn't mean to say it's going to be a good mattress for you. You can still end up an ache and pains 8 hours later. The Leesa mattress. I think this was the first online mattress that I found pretty comfortable, that made a difference between mattresses I had before where I wasn't getting the sleep I wanted to getting a decent night's sleep and being happy with something that I bought online. And yeah, I think that works. Now, for me now, having tried many different mattresses, just lacks a little bit of support for me. I do have lower back issues, slightly not quite contouring enough for me under the hips and the lumbar region, but very, very comfortable. I do like lying on this mattress. I would happily sleep on it, again, as my full-toe mattress, if I ever got rid of all the others. I'm always happy recommending this mattress, whether it works out in the end or not, because it's always seems to be close to what someone wanted, whether it's not perfect at all. So I would say back sleeping, nice, definitely shoulder friendly, you know, but if you are quite light, you may still find that a bit firm on the shoulder, and also tummy friendly. Enough support there on my tummy even at my weight. The Nectar, I do personally like memory foam. It is definitely, I am definitely feeling more of a sink than on Leesa, but then on the other hand, I feel my curves being filled out a bit more than I do on Leesa, which kind of makes up for that. So again, for me, quite a similar experience to sleep on Leesa, but 8 hours of sleep, and if I don't move position, then it's going to be a bit soft, and it's a little bit lacking support in that region for me. But again, it's going to be even more shoulder friendly than Leesa, because memory foam, not only is it softer, it doesn't even have pushback as you're going to get from these other mattresses on the shoulder. And if you're heavier than me, well, it's going to be really nice on the shoulder, but you may have issues on your tummy. As I said, softer mattresses not great for tummy sleeping, but definitely a comfortable mattress. And given that it's got 365 night trial, definitely a peace of mind mattress. An Otty, you know, one of the cheaper mattresses of the online ilk that I've been buying. But I have to say, if you're looking at something firm, as I said, when I first slept on it, I was thinking, oh, it's a bit firm. But it was definitely back friendly. As a back sleeper, when my back is bad, these mattresses do not give me enough support. I slept on Otty, even though I have to say I didn't find it that comfortable, and this is why I'm saying don't go by comfort too much. Even though I didn't find it that comfortable, I found I got a good night's sleep and I didn't have my aches and pains in the morning. And at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. So there is some comfort, but as I said, it doesn't have the amount of comfort layers as you're getting on the others. Only 6 centimeters of comfort layer, 9 on the other two. I've always got an option of putting a topper on. I do use a topper generally, as that is for you to decide. And if you want to fine tune your mattress, it's always a good idea. But definitely firmish as I lay on it, noticeably after coming off the other two. It's going to make it less shoulder friendly for me. My weight just isn't enough give for me at my weight on the shoulder, but very tummy friendly. Yeah, I don't sink at all, and that is great for tummy sleeping. I'm going to finish off by giving you a detailed look at the underside, the inside of these mattresses. Most of these mattresses do come with a polyester cover because it's highly wicking, but it is, I have to point out, petrochemicals, and even CertiPure certification does not cover the cover. You need OEcoTex certification if you want everything to be covered. Just pointing that out. So 100% polyester cover on the Leesa, and it's a one piece, and it undoes from the bottom. That's awkward if you really wanted to take it off. Nectar, 100% polyester on the top, 100% polypropylene on the bottom. Now, they say they have a temperature regulating polymer in their top cover. That means it will change its state depending on how much heat it's taking in. So that's good for cooling. That's the whole point. They also say, don't wash our cover. The label on mine says washable at 40 degrees, but they say we don't really recommend it. Changes the nature of the cover. So you can take from that what you want. Again, unzip from the bottom. Pretty awkward. Again, Otty has a cover that unzips from the bottom. All three unzip from the bottom. I find that quite awkward. Again, polyester, but they have 3% spandex or lycra, that stretchy type of material, which gives it a bit of stretch. Doesn't mean to say the others don't have, but I think that feels stretchier. You can certainly feel the difference between Otty and the cover on Nectar, but that's also kind of stretchy. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say in terms of stretchiness, Otty, then Leesa, then Nectar. So take the covers off and show you the layers. When you see bits of foam missing, do bear in mind my mattresses get a lot of schlapping about, a lot of use and moving around, and when you're grabbing the sides a lot and they don't have handles like these mattresses, foam can come away. It's not a reflection on the mattress. Now, in terms of the Leesa mattress, first thing you notice, it's got holes throughout the top. That's going to help cooling. That's part of the Avena process. That's good. You normally see that in latex mattresses because of the way they pour it. It's nice to have holes and channels. As you can see, it's going to allow for airflow. It's going to help with cooling if you have heat issues. A lot of people have that with memory foam and foam mattresses in general. So a soft top layer, soft because it's got holes in to help airflow, but it's going to mean less foam there. It's going to feel softer. 5 centimeters there. Then your memory foam, as you can see, slower to respond. And as I say, it's not the same as having it on top. When you've got it down there, adds a dead feel to the mattress. It reduces the springiness to some extent because you push down, but that memory foam layer doesn't push up as quick as the top layer. So you get some response, but you also get some continued contouring. So that's quite nice, and that's why they add it to the mattress, even if it's not the top layer, because it's adding other properties. And then you've got your obligatory solid, firm base layer, but of course it's going to be a lower spec. It takes less of a bashing than the top layers, so it doesn't have to be such a high density on the bottom. In this case, it's still decent spec, 33 kilos per cubic meter, 50 kilos per cubic meter, and again, top layer, 50 kilos per cubic meter. Nectar, with its 4 centimeters memory foam on top, and a slightly firmer memory foam below. So my guess is 50 kilos per cubic meter for those top two layers, and the 16 centimeter base layer. You do get zoning on the Nectar. I will show you that. So you've got large cuts, shoulder and hip level, which are going to give you more give than the bits where it isn't cut. And then you've got channels cut all along the top of that layer. That's going to again give more softness overall to the mattress. That's them fine-tuning their mattress. That doesn't mean to say a mattress that has zoning is better than one that doesn't. It makes no difference. Done badly, it's going to be bad anyway. It has to suit you. It's them fine-tuning the feel that they think most people are going to want. Don't read too much into it. on the Otty. We have memory foam on top. It's quite responsive. It also has holes across the surface. It's going to help air cooling, and of course they have holes, and I'll show you soon, on the side as well. It's part of what they call their airflow system. I have to point out the gel beads. This is gel memory foam. The idea being it's a phase change material. It helps to transfer heat. It changes its property as it gets hotter. The jury's out, as I always say, whether that helps or not. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. If you don't have it, you don't have any chance of it working. But it's 3 centimeters. Obviously it's a lot smaller in terms of comfort layers than Leesa and Nectar. You then have, as you can see, one solid chunk of polyurethane foam, but that's only boxing in the pocket spring. There's a difference between cheaper pocket sprung mattresses and more expensive ones, where they have pocket springs going all the way out to the side. It's very common to box in your springs because springs are not good normally for edge support. They add foam because it's still going to be firmer on the edges. Otty is one of those mattresses that uses what they call encapsulated, boxed in pocket springs. Doesn't mean they all do, but most of them do, because it's the easiest way to firm up the sides. So actually there is a layer 3 centimeters deep below that top layer of polyurethane foam that sits on top of the pocket springs, giving you a total of 6 centimeters of comfort layer up top of those pocket springs. And then you have just a little layer below that, simply there as a base for those pocket springs. I'm going to show you the zoning on the side. Of course, I call it zoning. It's not really zoning, it's the airflow system. So they're not there to give extra give as you do, say, on the Nectar. It's there to aid air getting in between those pocket springs and be able to get through on the top layer. So it's helping airflow along with that gel memory foam to alleviate what would normally be heat issues, if you are sensitive to that, with a memory foam top layer or any foam mattress when it comes to that. I'm going to show you the actual pocket springs. Do not try this at home. You will of course invalidate your warranty if you rip your foam mattress apart, but I'm doing this for all YouTube mattress lovers, so you can see the pocket springs below there, and there they are, the full size, and there you see the 2 layers of comfort layer, memory foam, polyurethane foam, much firmer than the top memory foam layer. And then you have your wrapped pocket springs always wrapped. So although technically pocket springs move individually, they are joined, stitched or glued, or in this case joined by the fabric material. So technically individual, but they are joined in some way or the other. Point out these are 1.8 millimeters in gauge, and that's likely to be on the firmer side of a pocket spring. So just to wrap everything up, in terms of cooling, if that is a particular issue to you, you've got holes on polyurethane foam, it's not going to sleep as hot as a memory foam mattress like Nectar, or the top layer, which is still memory foam on Otty, although there's a lot of airflow on Otty. So if cooling is an issue, Leesa may be your best option. In terms of recommended maximum weight capacities, it's 22 stone on Otty, 23 stone on Nectar, which is huge, but it's 18 stone on Leesa. So if that's an issue to you, if you're in that weight category, you're going to need to know that. And of course that is 2 people of that weight on a double, or 1 person of that weight on a single. You always get deals online, nobody pays retail. But if I work out the average retail price, there's not a lot in it, but Leesa is a little bit more expensive than Nectar, than Otty. So depending on the deal they have at the hard time, Otty may work out cheaper, but then you get huge deals on the other 2, and you get other freebies as well, I have to say. So technically in price, Otty's cheapest, but you're going to have to work out what deals are on offer. In terms of low smell mattresses, I found Nectar had the least smell at the beginning and subsided the quickest, and Leesa and Otty were a little bit similar. There was an initial smell that quickly subsided, but not as quick as Nectar, and Nectar had less of a smell. So I hope from probably this little bit of information overload video, if you've managed to get to this point, or maybe you fast forwarded to this point, I hope you've got enough information for you to work out what is going to suit you. Having said that, as I said, I think all 3, I've put these 3 together because I think they offer value for money, they're different firmness levels, and they have different materials. I thought it would be an interesting comparison, and I'm just hoping you got something out of this video, and thank you for watching.
UK